Hello, lovely witches. This is Dawn from Aurora Dawn. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. And this is part 4, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Um, this is we're still on the second class of self-mastery for witches. And I'm giving the first 3 classes away because of all the pandemonium from this pandemic that's going on. And I felt like this would be important to share because it'll help you emotionally. The first 3 classes are about your paradigm, making sure your beliefs are in alignment with what is the truth of what is happening, what is showing up in your life, and understanding you have the power to change it. Yes, it looks like it's coming from places that you have no control over, but you do have influence. You do have filters that you can put up that will basically filter out stuff that you don't want to manifest in your life. You don't want this stuff showing up in your life. So basically it's shifting your energy so that you are no longer an energetic match to what is showing up in your life. Hopefully that makes sense. I have the heater on. I'm hoping it's not making a whole lot of noise. It's warm enough. I'm going to shut it off. I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, so the heater is shutting down. It's cooling off before it shuts off. What I want to share with you right now is how to process your emotions. So say you're really upset. Say you're angry, or you're afraid, or you feel worried or frustrated or disappointed, whatever. I mean, I went out shopping the other day. I was very disappointed because I seemed to be the only one with a mask. And the governor, I think the next day she said we all need to be wearing masks. But the president in the press release and the press conference said that we all should be wearing masks. Fauci, interesting name. Fauci said the same thing. We all should be wearing masks. And it seemed like in my area, nobody was wearing a mask, and they were all very close, walking around in the shopping center, not paying attention to how close they were to the next person. So it's easy to get worried about these things. Sorry, I think I bumped the camera. Sorry. But it's easy to get worried about it. What do you do with that? When that energy bubbles up, what do you do with it? When you get stressed out, when you feel uncomfortable, when you feel overwhelmed with emotions, what do you do with that? Okay. In the video before this one, how do I... Oh, there it is. I showed you this feelings chart. If you don't have this, you will need this for this exercise that I'm going to teach you. Now, I've taught this exercise before in other videos, but I did not show you this chart. And down below it is very, very important. These are the definitions of your emotions. And really what you want to pay attention to is healing emotions. These guys. All right. So to begin with, we're going to look at this column. And I keep bumping the camera. Sorry. We're going to look at this column here. And I'll explain to you in a minute. But the emotions, blocked emotions, gosh, this setup's kind of wonky, sorry, but we're going to start with the blocked emotions, and I'll explain to you why. Let me turn this back around. Okay. You start with the blocked emotions column, and by the way, if you don't have this chart, you can send me an email, and I will send it to you in a PDF. I don't have a newsletter. I don't collect emails because it's exhausting, and I don't have the energy. So I'm not going to be selling you anything. A lot of people they claim that you need to have an email list for marketing reasons, and I'm not there. I'm not doing it. So if you send me an email, I am not going to save your email and start sending you a bunch of promotional stuff. But I will send you this chart in a PDF, and you can have it for free. I tried to load it up on my Facebook fan page, and there's no, I can't figure it out anyway. I thought there used to be, you can click on a button that said to load up an attachment, but I don't see it there. Anyway, so what's important is that we first look at the blocked emotions column, because however old you are, that is how many years you have spent blocking your emotions. Because, for instance, anger. How many people had parents that allowed you to express anger? No. And I was not allowed, and so I learned to stuff it. And because me expressing my emotions to my foster parents didn't get me very far. In fact, a lot of times it got me punished. So I learned to stuff my emotions. And what I'm going to teach you here is how to process those emotions, because it's so important to acknowledge they are there. Acknowledge that they are trying to tell you something. They are a guidance system. And the definitions at the bottom of this chart is going to be invaluable to helping you identify the emotions that you are actually experiencing. Okay, so you are blocking your emotions because society says nobody cares how you feel. They just care about what your behavior. How are you expressing yourself to the world? That's the only thing people care about. That's what we're taught. Not that nobody really cares. What I'm saying is that's what we're taught. So I did a video about this little girl. She's a 10-year-old girl who was was bullying other kids on the bus, and she got kicked off the bus. The father was doing this video, recording this video of his daughter walking to school 5 miles in like 30-degree weather. And he was explaining that it was because she was being punished for being a bully on the bus. And my heart just broke for this little girl, because nobody was dealing with or asking her, trying to work with her and find out why was she acting like a bully. For me, I see a little girl with rage and anger inside of her that she has not been able to process. Most likely it's towards her parents, but she can't express that because it's forbidden. And so what happens is it comes out with her peers, and she ends up bullying her peers because, they're her peers. They're not in authority. So her ego is trying to make her think that she can get away with it. She can process her anger that way. And so the whole punishing her, I'm not saying punishing her was the bad thing or wrong thing to do, but just punishing her without dealing with what's going on inside of her that's driving her to be a bully. It's teaching this little girl that nobody cares about how you feel. All they care about is how you're behaving. So this is why it's so very important for you to acknowledge your emotions and how important they are, because they are guiding you. They're telling you what is going on in your life and what is happening. So start with the blocked emotions. Get out a piece of paper, or if you have your laptop computer open, then a Word document or something, and then write down each of these that you feel you resonate towards. Yeah, that's me. Down in the blocked emotions. Blame. Yeah, I blame people all the time. That's me. Write it down or type it into, Word document or whatever, so you get it down, so you're documenting it, okay? Depression, same thing. If you're experiencing depression, write that down. Anxiety, indifference, judgment, indecision, procrastination, perfectionism, self-pity, confusion, and guilt. Now, I want to say this is not an exhaustive list of blocked emotions. For instance, loneliness is a blocked emotion. It is not an emotion. Some people say, oh, I'm emotionally lonely. I feel lonely. I feel like that's my emotion. It's not an emotion. It's a symptom of emotion. Same thing with depression is a symptom of an emotion. Anxiety, symptom of an emotion. So we have to do some sleuthing. The next column is general feeling. So if you find yourself blaming people, then it could be because the general feeling is you feel betrayed. Okay, so think about it, feel it. Is this you? And if it is, most likely the healing emotion that you are experiencing, that you are feeling, is anger. You are feeling angry. You are experiencing angry. You are not the emotion anger. I am not angry. I am experiencing anger. All right? So kind of in your mind, make a differentiation. I am not sad. I'm experiencing the emotion of sad. Okay? So that's how you use this chart. You're trying to get to the healing emotion that you are really actually experiencing. And sometimes it's depression that turns into anger. That's really anger, not turns into, but you have blocked anger and you're expressing that anger in depression instead of anger. Anxiety, a lot of times that is afraid, feeling a lack of confidence. So the third column, natural state, is confidence. So if you're not feeling confident, you may be feeling hopeless. And if you're feeling hopeless, most likely you are feeling afraid. That's the fight or flight. So if you look down at the bottom, in the definitions, feeling afraid is experienced when you are faced with a fight or flight. I have it backwards, flight or fight, situation. This is the feeling that something bad might happen and harm may come as a result. This emotion is experienced when you do not feel safe. This is a warning energy, and if you block this energy, you could then experience anxiety. So if you're feeling anxiety, it very well could be that you feel like there's imminent danger. Something might happen. And so what that is it comes down to usually afraid. And I keep saying usually because these are emotions. Emotions are not black or white. The emotions are squishy. Emotions are not 100% always the same. They vary quite a bit. So this chart is only 70-75% accurate. That's why you have to sleuth a little bit. You have to figure it out. And these are clues. The blocked emotions are clues. General feeling, clues. Natural state, clues to the actual healing emotions. And when you connect with it, when you say, oh, it might be angry, so let me read the definition for angry. The energy is about believing something happening to you is unfair. Holy crap, yeah, that's me. That's it. Then you know that's the healing emotion that you're actually experiencing. So you write down the blocked emotions, and then to kind of narrow it down, and then sleuth it out and see what healing emotion you are actually experiencing that has turned into that blocked emotion. And once you find the healing emotion that you are actually experiencing, you want to put that in a different list, a separate list, okay? Once you have that list together, then you're going to go through each one of the healing emotions. And and don't be upset if you have a lot of them. My students that tell me they have a lot, majority of these healing emotions are what they're experiencing right now, then I know that they're being emotionally honest. I've had students who like, oh, I'm only feeling frustrated. That's um, okay, let's take some time to get into a safe place, a safe space. And what sometimes needs to happen is that person just needs to breathe and relax and be open. And it's okay to have emotions. It's okay to experience and feel emotions. All right. So it's very important to understand that. You need to get into a place where you feel safe so that you can pick out all of these healing emotions that you are experiencing. And it's important that it's right now. For this experiment, it is right now. What are you feeling? What are you experiencing? Okay. So then once you have your list of healing emotions that you are really, truly experiencing right now, then you want to go through each one and feel them. So, okay, anger. I wrote that down. So I need to tune into that feeling of that emotion, experience of that emotion. How intense is it? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 is maxed out. 10 is you can't get any angrier. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how angry do I feel right now? And write that down. Okay, it feels like an 8, or it feels like a 10. I am maxed out. Whatever it is, write it down. Go to the next healing emotion that you have on your list, whatever it is, and just sit with it for a few seconds and ask, how intense is this? And go with the first number that comes up in your head. Okay, don't let your ego, well, you're this way because this, and it's not really that bad, and it's not your fault, and the ego gets in there and just craps all over it. All right, so then you end up with a different number, a different intensity that isn't really true. So take that first number that comes to your mind when you ask yourself, how intense is this? It's very important. Don't wait. Don't think about it. It's not about thinking about this and getting the right understanding or the story behind why you feel the way you feel. It doesn't matter. None of that's going to help you heal. So it's important just to stay focused on, what emotion am I feeling? How intense is it? So that you can get clear, very clear. Then once you are done with that, then you're going to do a breathing exercise. If you are an athlete, or if you regularly do breathing exercises, then you want to do this a little bit longer than what I'm going to show you. For the rest of us that are, average, Westerners that don't get a lot of exercise and don't practice pranayama or any other breathing exercises, we're going to do about 3 to 5 rounds. And basically what you want is a little bit of a lightheadedness. You don't want to go so long that you pass out. But you want that lightheadedness because you're going to focus in on what it feels like to be light. All these emotions that in the healing emotions column, angry, sad, afraid, sorrow, frustrated, disappointed, these are heavy. They make you feel, okay, so we don't want that. We want to process it so we can feel light. And doing the breathing exercises gives you a lightheadedness, all right? And that lightheadedness makes you feel light. And that's what it feels like when you're in spirit. So let's do this, right? Okay, after you get your list together. So if you need to pause this video, do so. And then once your list is complete with the intensity of each emotion, then you can do this exercise. So let's get ready, all right? And you're going to inhale forcibly through the nose, and then exhale forcibly through the mouth. Ready? Exhale and just relax and hold the breath out. Do not empty your lungs because that can cause anxiety. Just on your exhale, just hold the breath out for a few seconds and then start to breathe normally. You're going to feel lightheadedness, and if not, then the next round you want to go a little bit longer. But you want to focus in on what it feels like to be light. to feel good. Okay. Now you want to go through your list and spend a moment, a few seconds with each of those healing emotions that you have on your list. How intense is this emotion? Go through each one and write down the intensity, the new intensity. The numbers should come down at least a little bit. Maybe not a lot. Maybe some of them are still at a 10 or an 8 or whatever the original number is. And that's okay, because this is, you're learning how to do this. You're learning how to let go of these emotions, to process them. Okay. We're going to do, once you do that list, go through your list again and write the intensity. We're going to do this breathing again. And we're going to keep doing it until the numbers come down to at least a 2. A 2 or less is where you want to be. So if it's at a 2 or less, it's so easy to process the rest of it out, and you can just go on with the rest of your life, whatever you're doing, and the energy of that emotion will easily dissolve and be released. Okay, so let's do this breathing exercise again once you've gone through and reassessed each one of those emotions to see how intense it is. Okay, so let's do the breathing again. And exhale and relax. And then just breathe normally and tune into what it feels like to feel light. That's what spirit feels like. When you are in spirit, it feels light. It feels good. It feels comforting and comfortable. It feels safe. Okay, now again, go through your list and touch each one, each emotion. How intense is this? Spend a few seconds. Write down your new number. Go through the whole entire list. And if it's still not down to a 2, do this again. Do it at least 2 more times. And if still it doesn't come down, then spend some time in meditation and do mindfulness meditation. Now you can go through your entire body, starting with your feet, focusing on your feet. What do my feet feel like right now? Are they cold, warm, achy, feel comfortable? And do you have socks on? What do those socks feel like against my skin? You move all the way up to the top of your head. Another easier version is just to focus on your breath. So feel the air coming into your nostrils, into your body, into your lungs, and then you exhale and focus on the breath, leaving your nostrils, leaving your body. And keep doing that. Usually that helps a lot. That helps to really release the things you are hanging on to, these emotions, the energy that you're hanging on to, and it allows you to release them. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to think of mantras work really well, and it reminds me of the movie with Tina Turner, about Tina Turner, her story. And if you know her story, she was married to a very abusive man. Nailed it. What was his name? Ike Turner. Yes. So she lived with him and remained married to him for many years. And finally it got to a breaking point, and she went to her sister's, and her sister was practicing Buddhism and taught her this chant. And I can't recall the chant, but it's not, the chant itself is not necessarily important. The message, the lesson here is that she started chanting every day and sitting in meditation, which diverted her attention away from the problem, away from all of the heavy emotions that she was experiencing, so she could get clear of all of that. And then she was able to receive the information, the confidence, and what she needed to do to make her situation improve, to get away from this man, and make sure her children were safe from him. So it's important that we do this exercise or any other exercise that is similar, that allows you to process and release the energy and allow you to, I want to say, divert my attention away from these heavy emotions so that I can receive guidance from my higher self, my spirit guides, from those who are trying to teach me and show me and guide me. My ancestors are usually trying to communicate. My spirit guides are trying to communicate. But if I'm all caught up in anger, what else? What am I going to see? And reasons to be angry. I'm not going to see the lesson. I'm not going to see the insight. I'm not going to be able to receive the guidance. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do. Please practice this. And I think I have one more video I want to make on this class. This is class 2 in the Self-Mastery for Witches course. And then I'll get into the next one, which is nurturing your emotional needs. And I'll teach you how to do that. And that's mind-blowing, you guys. Mind-blowing. Seriously. Okay? I want this to help you. I want you to use this exercise, especially if you're feeling a lot of fear, you're feeling a lot of worry, a lot of frustration or whatnot. You need to, I want you, I'm not going to tell you. I want you to try this exercise and process the emotions so that you can feel better and feel safe and comfortable and can, be happy. All right? So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your comments. Do something today that brings you joy and makes you feel good. And I love you all. And until next time, blessed be.